Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I offer my humble obeisance unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet. Before reciting Srimad Bhagvatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisance unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, unto Narayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author of Srimad Bhagavatam. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavat sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. By regular attendance in the classes on Srimad Bhagavatam and by rendering service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna, dear Vaishnavas, thank you so much for joining. We are so fortunate Krishna has given us one more chance to read Srimad Bhagavatam in the presence of wonderful devotees like all of you. So we are reading Canto 7, Chapter 1, The Supreme Lord is Equal to Everyone. So we read till text number 45 yesterday, and I shared a file with everyone which shows how many verses each chapter has and how much the cumulative chapters and percentage complete, etc. It's a very good reference. So according to that calculation, we have completed about 40% of the verses. Again, the goal is not to complete, but the goal is to relish every day the nectar of Srimad Bhagavatam. So we were reading in the last few verses that how Jay and Vijay were cursed by the Brahmanas, by the four Kumaras, and they had to take 3 births. So all that we were reading. So let's continue from next verse, text number 46. Tavatra kshatriyau jatau matri swashratmajau tava adhuna shapanir muktau Krishna chakra hatam hasau. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. In their third birth, the same Jai and Vijay appeared in a family of Kshatriyas as your cousins, the sons of your aunt, because Lord Krishna has struck them with his disc. All their sinful reactions have been destroyed, and now they are free from the curse. Purport: in their last birth, Jay and Vijay did not become demons or Rakshasas. Instead, they took birth in a very exalted Kshatriya family related to Krishna's family. They became first cousins of Lord Krishna and were practically on all equal footing with him. By personally killing them with his own disc, Lord Krishna destroyed whatever sinful reactions were left in them because of the curses of the Brahmanas. Narada Muni explained to Maharaj Yudhishtira that by entering Krishna's body, Sisupala re-entered Vaikuntha Loka as the Lord's associate. Everyone had seen this incident. So in the first birth, Sisupala and Jay and Vijay were born as Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha in the Satyuga. Next, they were born in the Treta Yuga as Ravana and Kumbhakarna. in the Dwapar Yuga, they were born as Sisupala and Dandavakra, the cousins of, here you are referring to Maharaj Yudhishtira. Narad Muni is speaking this to Maharaj Yudhishtira. And we have discussed this point again and again. Although they were killed externally by the disc or chakra of the Supreme Lord Krishna, but they were nonetheless free from all their anarthas and re-entered as Jay and Vijay back home, back to Vaikuntha. So it's an interesting observation which we have discussed multiple times, that in the Satyuga, demons were born in different, lokas. Divine and demoniac were in different, way different planets. But in the Treta Yuga, they were on the same planet but different family. But in this scenario, we see that they were in the same family, in the Dwapar Yuga, in the same family, the divine and the demoniac. And as Kali Yuga is progressing, the divine and the demoniac are in the same person. Sometimes I act divine, sometimes I act demoniac. And therefore Lord Chaitanya came in Kali Yuga, or Lord Krishna came as Lord Chaitanya, not to kill the demons outside, but to kill the demoniac propensity within with the weapon of the holy name. So that's often discussed by devotees, that point, how in this day and age divine and demoniac are in the same person. Okay, any other comments anyone has? Let's read the next one, text number 47. Yes, Nandini Mataji, you want to read, please?
Devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you, Prabhu. Text 47. Vairānubandha tivrena dhyanena uchchuta satma tam nito punarharai parshvam jagmatur Vishnu parshado. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. These two associates of Lord Vishnu, Jay and Vijay, maintained a feeling of enmity for a very long time. Because of always thinking of Krishna in this way, they regained the shelter of the Lord, having returned home back to Godhead. Purport: whatever their position, certainly Jay and Vijay always thought of Krishna. Therefore, at the end of the Mausala Leela, these two associates of the Lord returned to Krishna. There is no difference between Krishna's body and Narayana's body. Therefore, although they visibly entered the body of Krishna, they actually re-entered Vaikuntha Loka as the doorkeepers of Lord Vishnu. Through Lord Krishna's body, they returned to Vaikuntha, although they seem to have attained Sayuja Mukti in Krishna's body. So yena kena prakarena, you always think whatever the way, you can just keep on thinking about Krishna is the main point here. And that is the most purifying process. That's our life and soul, is to think about Krishna, meditate on Krishna. That's where our life can revolve around. That can be the pivot. And every thought, every action, whichever body you are in the human body or Vaikuntha body or body in the form of Asura on the planet material world, is to think about Krishna. And second point is Lord Krishna's body and Narayan's body is non-different. And although visibly they entered into body of Krishna and visibly it seemed to be Sayuja Mukti, Prabhupada clearly explains that they actually re-entered Vaikuntha Loka as the doorkeepers of Lord Vishnu, because Krishna is so merciful that he took that he wanted their eternal association, and whatever offenses they did, Krishna made sure that they were purified. And in the meantime, they also gave a nice fight to Lord Vishnu or Lord Krishna. that he was desiring. Back to you, Prabhu. Please add. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. Okay, we'll read the last verse of this chapter.
Can I add a point here? Hare Krishna. Can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhu, please.
Danvat, all goes to Prabhupada. Here what it's saying is that they entered in Krishna's body. And it's Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur is saying that Narayana was also within Krishna's body up to the time of Krishna's disappearance. So he said after Krishna's disappearance pastime, they returned to the side of Narayana, since Narayana was also within Krishna's body up to the time of Krishna's disappearance. Thus Jay and Vijay also entered Krishna's body, remained there. That the Sisupala and Dandavakra merged with Krishna. Krishna is a perception of the common people. So it's like we know in Krishna's pastime, the Krishna born in Mathura as a four-handed form. And according to Jiva Goswami, Mother, at the same time, Mother Jasoda also had given birth to Krishna two-handed for Shyam Sundar. So when Krishna's father Vasudev took Vasudev Krishna through in overnight, then that four-handed form merged into two-handed form of Krishna, which was already there, because Jasoda had given birth to two-handed from Krishna, and at the same time given birth to the Yogamaya, that which is pure in the sky.
Yasoda don't give the birth, Krishna.
I mean birth in a sense, appearance. Let's put it that way. So they merge, and then of course when Kakrura took Krishna from Vrindavan to Mathura, it was a four-handed form of Krishna. I mean, it is two-handed, but it is actually a Vasudeva form, which is killing the Kamsa and all that. So this is what is here also. I have a question about the last verse. I didn't understand, if someone can clarify me, because here it says that their offense was external only, and they took the form of Sisupala and Dandavakra, but they were not killed. And the Sridhar Swami is giving the example: the impurities of gold are destroyed by fire, but the gold is not destroyed. So the two were purified of the external covering of contamination, but were not destroyed. Jay Vijay, in the form of two mass disciples, just entered Krishna. It was seen by the public. I didn't completely understand that part. If someone has some light on it, can enlighten me, please. Thank you.
Anyone wants to speak? So Prabhuji, you're reading from the book you have, right? Or you're reading from the Bhagavatam? Or I just want to understand the reference, so that because you're reading something which I don't have or others don't have, so it's hard to...
No, I'm reading from the Srimad Bhagvatam, but I'm reading the commentary here. And I didn't understand. And you made some points in that sloka, you made some points, but I didn't catch it completely. I was a little bit 1 or 2 minutes late.
Repeat your question, Prabhu? Can you please repeat your question?
The question is that here it says in the commentary that, of course, their sin was destroyed by the Krishna's chakra. Okay? And it says that their offense was external only. they took the forms of Sisupala and Dandavakra, but they were not killed. This is Sridhar Swami's explanation. And then Sridhar Swami gives explanation that the impurities gold destroyed by fire, but the gold is not destroyed. That's understood. So the two were purified of the external covering of contamination, but were not destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I didn't catch it, this part.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can enlighten me, that will help me. Thank you.
So what I understand is the form of Sisupala or Dandavakra or Hiranyakashipu or Hiranyaksha, they had to take as externally the matter of offense which they committed. So it was not their true position, but in a drama they were doing as a performance for the pleasure of the Lord to nourish that pastime. So it's like when they came off stage. They were doing this drama, and then the Lord killed them externally. In a drama, one person kills the other person, but it's not that they were killed, but the drama is over, and then they go back to their real position. That's my understanding.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. I appreciate.
Thank you, Prabhu. Yes. Sivlas Prabhu, you want to read the last verse?
Okay, I can read.
Yes.
Sri Yudhishtira Uvacha Vidvesho Daite Putre Kathamashin Mahatmani Bruhe Me Bhagavanyel Prahaladasya Chitatma. Translation. Maharaja Yudhishthir inquired, "O my lord, Narad Muni, why was there such enmity between Hiranyakashipu and his beloved son Prahalada Maharaja? How did Prahalada Maharaj become such a great devotee of Lord Krishna? Kindly explain this to me." Purport. All the devotees of Lord Krishna are called Achyutam because they follow in the footsteps of Prahalada Maharaja. Achyuta refers to the infallible. Lord Vishnu was heard is always infallible. Because the devotees are attached to the infallible, they are called Achyutam. Thus ends the Bhakti Vedanta purport of the 7th Canto, 1st chapter of the Srimad Bhagvatam, entitled "The Supreme Lord is Equal to Everyone."
Thank you so much, Mataji. So, Maharaj, Narad Muni explains about Jay and Vijay and the 3 birds and how they were killed. And Narad Muni has told that about Lord Ram, you hear from Markandeya Muni. And Markandeya Muni is Markandeya Purana also. Markandeya Muni lived for 6 manvantaras. 6 manvantaras. He has a very, very long life. That means one manvantara has about 71 times 4 yugas. So 71 chaturyugas. So 71 and one chaturyuga means 43 million years approximately. 4,32,000 years. How many years Kali Yuga has?
Prabhu, actually it's just half of the Brahma's day, little less than half of Brahma's day, so it is about 2 trillion years.
2 trillion years. Thank you, Mataji. Very nice. That means a very, very long time. So, but now Maharaj Yudhishthira is very, very inquisitive. If we go back to text number 42, over there it says, desiring to kill his son Prahalad, who was a great devotee of Lord Vishnu, Hiranyakashipu tortured him in many ways. Now, that is the inquisitiveness of Maharaj Yudhishthira, who wants to know this. Why was there, everyone loves their son more than themselves. So why was there such enmity between the father and the son? And how did Prahalada Maharaj, who happened to be in the family of demons, how did he become a devotee? Same question Maharaj Parikshit asked about Vritrasur. How did Vritrasur become devotee? Same question Maharaj Parikshit asked about Marutas. How did Marutas become devotee? So a sincere seeker is very, very interested to know the essence, bhakti, because all these pastimes are about pure devotion. There are so many lessons. So as an inquisitive seeker, Maharaj Yudhishtira is asking Narad Muni. And one more reference is there, Achyuta. Achyuta refers to Supreme Lord, and it also refers to the infallible devotees. Name Bhakta Pranashyati. My devotee will never perish. Krishna says that. So a devotee like Prahalada Maharaj, in spite of so many ups and downs, he was always victorious because Krishna is on their side. Any other comments or questions anyone has? Any reflections? Okay. We'll do a quick summary of this chapter and some key lessons. So in the last canto, we were discussing about Yuti and the two sons, Hiranyakashipu, very briefly, and then Maruthas, etc. So it seems that Lord is always helping his devotees and killing the demoniac. So this chapter opens up, with the inquiry of Maharaj Parikshit that
Prabhuji, I think your voice is breaking. I don't know, it's just for me or everybody else. Cutting in and out.
For me, it is good, Prabhuji.
Yeah,
okay.
I think you are, Prabhuji. We are good.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So Maharaj Parikshit is inquiring that how can, the Lord be taking the side of Indra and killing the opposite, that's the enemies, and the Lord should be impartial, and why should they be fearful of the Asuras and taking sides of the Devatas, etc. So upon that, firstly, the Rishi, that is Shukdev Goswami, offers prayers. That's a very important lesson. That before he even begins to answer, he offers prayers to his spiritual master, Krishna Dvapayan Vyasdev. So that's what we do every day. We begin, any service we begin, it should be by offering prayers to the Guru Parampara. Because without the mercy of Guru and the Guru Parampara, we are nothing. And then he starts to speak that the Lord is beyond this. And this has come like at least 10 times in this. That Lord is beyond the material modes or the material qualities of goodness, of passion, ignorance. He is nirguna. That means he has no material qualities. Or he is aguna. Same meaning. He is transcendental. He is divya. He is the controller of Maya. He is not under the grip of Maya. Devi esha gunamai mam maya duratteya. Many verses, this point is explained that he is the master of everyone. All the Shaktis are working under his direction. Maya dhyakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam. So he cannot be under the grip of Maya, or Rajogun, or Tamogun. Normally people distinguish between friends and enemies because of different modes. A pure devotee also has this quality that they are also above the different modes. So they are also referred, this word Suhrida Sarvabhutanam is used here in, I think, twice. And that word is also used for the pure devotees. So the Lord is not partial to anyone. He is above the friend and envy mentality. And whatever he does is for the best of everyone. Now, like a teacher does best for everyone, all the students. But according to the one's receptiveness, one becomes a devata, one becomes asur, one becomes a rakshasa or yaksha. Very nice point. So, according to the degree of our receptiveness and our eagerness, we will make spiritual advancement. As Prabhupada says in Nectar of Instruction, it's a very nice lesson. Advancement in Krishna consciousness depends on the attitude of the follower. These are Prabhupada's statements. And this one more statement, according to one's receptiveness, whether one be a devata or an asura. This is in the 9th verse. So, in short, the Lord is not partial. He is willing to give his best. He wants Bhakti Yoga process to be taken by everyone. Bhagavad Gita, the instructions of Bhagavad Gita are open to everyone. It's not that it is reserved or it is $1 million book only rich people can buy. So Krishna is again, text 9 has a lot of wonderful important lines in the purport. Krishna is prepared to give Bhakti Yoga to everyone, but one must be capable of receiving it. Very nice statement. Like a teacher gives education to all, but one student fails the class and one student tops the class. Is the teacher partial to the one who failed? Certainly not. But they all have different degrees of receptiveness. So he's not into the material energy. So Shukadeva Goswami gives multiple points, and then he says, formerly Maharaj Yudhisthira also asked this question to the great sage Narada. Now let me tell you that story. So Shukadeva Goswami is telling a story of Maharaj Yudhishthira's conversation with Narada Muni. That how in the Rajasuya Yagya, Sisupala, head was chopped off by the Sudarshan Chakra, and he attained the Sayujya Mukti, and we discussed that was like an interim step, and then later he went back in his original position as Jay in Vaikuntha Loka. So there are 5 types of mukti. We discussed that also. Sarupya, Sayujya, Samipya, Salokya, etc. But a pure Vaishnava aspires for neither. Whatever the Lord desires he's happy. And then we know the story that why Sisupala was envious since birth. It was like braying like a ass. He had 3 eyes and 4 hands, and it was told that he sat on the lap of Krishna, and then it was foretold that the same person on whose lap Sisupala sits and his 2 arms and 1 eye drops off, that person will be his kala or his death. And then Sisupala's mother, now when she got to know that Krishna would be the one who will be killing Sisupala, she asked, my dear Krishna, after all you're our relative, can you please forgive Sisupala of his 100 mistakes. So Sisupala and Krishna said, okay, so be it. So, but in this Rajasuya Yagya, Sisupala crossed all his limits and forgot. Krishna did remind him that Sisupala, you're crossing your limits. 100 is about to come. But envy is something, and envy from Krishna, envy is very, very disastrous. Envy is very, very deep-rooted, and the root of all envy is envy from Krishna. And Bhagavatam is for Nirmatsaranam. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, "Oh Arjuna, I'm giving this knowledge to you because you are Anusuyava, you are non-envious." From Atri and Anusuya was born Dattatreya. Atri means free from three modes. Anusuya means free from envy. So when one is free from three modes and free from envy, the Divine Lord appeared. And Narad Muni explains the same points, that how Sisupala, so Yudhishthira Maharaj asked this question, how come Sisupala attained Sayujya Mukti, which is even difficult to attain by the yogis and jnanis? Then Narad Muni explains the same point, that ultimately whatever happens is by the Divine Lord's sweet will. And then there are multiple verses which tell that yes, he was thinking about the Lord. He was thinking about the Lord in a unfavorable way, like Kamsa, like always thinking, how can I kill Krishna? Always trying to insult him. So text number 26, and there are a few verses on that theme, that Yenikin Prakaran, somehow the other one thinks of Krishna that is better than impersonalist, that is better than atheist, certainly. But our process, or the lesson there is that even if someone is thinking of in an envious mentality, one gets so much result. What will be the position of Mata Yashoda? What will be the position of a pure soul who is thinking of genuinely serving Krishna in a anukul way, in a favorable way, not in a pratikul way? And we discuss the deeper meaning of anukul and pratikul. Anukul means, oh spiritual master, oh Gurudev, I will do what you say. That's anukul, that's the highest. Pratikul means, okay, I will do, but I will do things the way I like. I will do devotional service, but I will only do what I like to do, not what you would like me to do. So that's also anukul and pratikul. Anukul means completely surrendering to the will of the spiritual master, the senior Vaishnavas, Srila Prabhupada, and giving up the false designations. Sarvo upadi vinirmuktam tat paretvena nirbalam rishikena rishikesha sevanam bhaktir uchyate. That's the highest. To give up, I want to do this. If I don't get to do this, then I will want to come for Janmashtami. Then I want help in your program. This is also pratikul. So it's a good reflection. And then one very, very nice point which I like. By rapt attention fixed upon Krishna, one is purified, and thus one is delivered from the material world. Text number 26 purport as that. So rapt attention in service. Not an easy thing, but that is what is required. Rapt attention, absorption, attention in holy name, attention in the Bhagavad class, attention in any sense, being present in good relationship, in any aspect. Rapt attention is always helpful. And then finally, training to remember Krishna, and that is the goal, and that will be the consciousness at the time of death. And finally, this chapter, the story comes that why was so the background of Sisupala is explained, that how he went back home, back to Godhead, and then Yudhishthira Maharaj was inquisitive to know what is the background. And then Narad Muni explains the story of the four Kumaras, how they were about to enter and they were checked at the doorstep by the two gatekeepers, namely Jay and Vijay, and then they cursed, and they had to take 3 births: Satyuga, Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha; Treta Yuga, Ravana and Kumbhakarna; and Dwapar Yuga, Sisupala and Dandavakra. So then this chapter comes to an end, and at the last there's one more question. What was the enmity between the father and the son? How did Prahalad become a pure devotee? Why was Hiranyakashipu, his father, envious of him? So these are some of the synopsis from this chapter. Anyone have any other reflections? Any other comments? Please feel free to share any lessons, learning, something really struck you, something really inspired you in this chapter. Yes, Vamsilas Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji, and Pranam, everyone. The most inspiring part about this chapter is the Lord is not partial to anyone. You've already mentioned all the wonderful points, Prabhuji, that depending on our attitude towards Krishna, we can receive the mercy of the Lord, which falls like the sunlight. It falls everywhere. Like plants can use that sunlight and bear fruits, but there are many bad things also that receive sunlight that doesn't do anything. So similarly, the Lord's mercy is for everyone. And the other important point I really liked is that the Lord is depends on our attention, the amount of attention, rapt attention we have. So if Sisupala was able to get the highest benediction by thinking about the Lord very seriously in a negative way, but because of that rapt attention, he could attain so much. So we even if when we are practicing Bhakti Yoga, we should try to concentrate on the Lord, because that is what makes all the difference in that we learn from this chapter. Thank you, Prabhuji Dandavakra.
Thank you. Very nice. Anyone else wants to share anything inspired you?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. As Vamshilas rightly said about, Supreme Personality of God, it's he doesn't, though it appears for us, it is partiality. Sometimes, we get, calamities like this, like, coronavirus and all, people say that, God is so cruel. But, God has a better plan for us. And, and also it is based on the karma. And the other point I like, Prabhuji, is Lord is very, very much devoted to his devotees. Even though if somebody commits an offense to the Lord himself, he can bear it, but he doesn't, agree when someone commits offense to his devotees. So that's why we see that even though Jay and Vijay were not, thought, these were just children, so they did not allow, and they cursed them. So of course, and then again Jay and Vijay, apologized, and also then the four Kumaras realized that they also did a mistake. But we have seen in many cases that Lord is very, very dear to his pure devotees, and that's my understanding. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Nice. Anyone else would like to share? Any other comments, reflections? Any Matajis want to share? No. After Shravanam comes Smaranam. Let's try to remember. We heard, read, heard. Please share for everyone's purification, whatever inspired you.
Okay, someone is called Jaya and Vijaya. That's not Jaya and Vijaya. This is Jay and Vijay.
Mataji, can you please be close to the microphone or the phone, whatever device you're using?
Some people call the Jaya and Vijaya. That's not Jaya and Vijaya. This is Jaya and Vijay.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Mataji, for your comment. We'll try to pronounce better. Anyone else?
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances, our glory to Srila Prabhupada. Actually, the main thing we have to realize a lot of very powerful words from Srila Prabhupada that were really touched my heart. Prabhupada says in one paragraph that a devotee, with tapasya, with knowledge, becomes free of anger and fear, and then he takes that path of Krishna consciousness by hearing and chanting and listening to the pastimes and glories of the Lord, and then he takes the path of pure devotional service. And Prabhupada also warns us that we should not take pure devotional service as a benefit, like to imitate Hiranyakashipu or Sisupala. That's not a shortcut to achieve success in pure devotional service. And really, that was the most important line that I am ingraining in my heart, is that full absorption in thought of Krishna is the highest platform of Bhakti Yoga. So many beautiful ways that Srila Prabhupada had, and the grass worm, and how the whole bee and grass worm, the fear, the enmity, that we have to come out of it, and we have to realize that the Lord is equal to all, and there's no enemy, no friend. And if we can start our relationship in this material world, in that platform, then only would we be eligible to take a higher platform. That's my reflection on this whole chapter. So thank you for all the devotees for giving their reflections. Haribol.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu Dandavakra. So something that struck to me was that Narad Muni is such an exalted devotee. Even at the end of day of Brahma, he is just like he sleeps and he wakes up in his spiritual body. So he's always there. We read this in Canto 4. And still he is saying that, out of his humility, it says that he said that, I wish that Jay and Vijay were always thinking of Krishna, and I wish I could do that. I'm trying to find the exact verse. I think it was in text 7 or 8. Narad Muni says that, or one of the first few beginning, and it was very wonderful to hear that. And of course, the purport says it's not the recommended way, and it is out of humility of Narad Muni he's saying that. But just to hear that was very extremely significant, and I'll remember it. Back to you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Very nice point. Anyone else?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I have seen three different situations here. Like in the Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksh pastime, Hiranyaksh insulted Mother Earth by putting her in the Garbhodak ocean. In the Ravan and Kumbhakarna pastime, Ravana kidnapped Mother Sita. And in the Krishna's pastime, Sisupala wanted to marry Mother Rukmini. So in these all three things, they insulted the women. And Krishna respect the women as well as the mothers, all women. So he doesn't like that. And I think that was the protection of the dharma he has performed in this Leela, and he killed all the Jay Vijay in all three different yugas. That's what my understanding, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. Anyone else? Any other comments or questions? one more important statement in 7.1.9 purport. Vaishnavas are never envious of other Vaishnavas or of anyone else. Something to really meditate upon. Devotees are nirmatsaranam, or should be nirmatsaranam. Not only of other Vaishnavas, but of everyone else also. Prabhupada is mentioning in the purport. And Prabhupada is also giving a secret. Should I tell a secret? Prabhupada is writing, it's as it is. Prabhupada is saying that's the secret. Krishna is prepared to give bhakti yoga to everyone, but one must be capable of receiving it. That's the secret. As it is, from the purport 7.1.9. These words of Prabhupada are so powerful. If we meditate upon that deeply. Anyone else? Any other comments? Prabir Prabhu, you want to share something? Vipul Prabhu, you want to share?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Actually, you covered very well and other devotees did wonderful comments. So one thing really struck me that you mentioned before, that Narada Muni, the great author and teacher of Vedic literature and Bhagavatam, but he took so humble positions as a great devotee and teaching us how to be humble, even being the greatest author and leader in our bhakti parampara. That already Mataji mentioned that he's saying that remembering constantly, like even Sisupala, that he can remember Krishna all the time. And second point is that when talking about the Lord Ram, he's telling to listen from Maitra Muni, though he knows very well. So whenever we have shortcomings, better to refer to other devotees who knows better than us and give a better explanation and lesson. So this is a very great teaching for me. Back to Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. You meant Markandeya Muni, right?
Oh, sorry. Markandeya.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Yes. With more spiritual advancement comes more humility. Very nice observation. Thank you, Prabhu.
One small thing. It says that Lord also sometimes wants to fight, but who can fight with the Lord? So from authoritative sources, we learn that Jay and Vijay were sent to material world to fulfill Lord's desire. So that was very nice. It reminds us of how Rukmini was the chariot keeper and how Krishna fought with Sisupala and all the wonderful fights that were brought for pleasure of devotees, because even Hiranyakashipu's fight is so beautiful. Back to you, Prabhu. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you, Mataji. Very nice point.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji, please.
So when Lord wants to fight, he has to have his associate comes to fight. So in this material world there is little Hiranyakashipu, little Hiranyaksha, little Ravana, little Kumbhakarna, little Sisupala, little Dandavakra. So Lord doesn't have to come and fight with them. It is Lord's external energy itself is fighting, is removing them. And whatever Lord does, from this Lord is equal, means Lord either slap you or Lord either hug you. It's the same. Because slapping is also for your good, hugging is also for your good. And that's what is Lord is equal forever. For He's transcendental. He's nothing to do with this material. We are in the material world where we have this enmity and this and that and friendship and all that. The Lord is equal. So that is the point here. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Okay, so with that, we'll come to a pause for today. One last Prabhupada statement. Freedom is assured for a devotee who is always favorable to the service of the Lord. Again, from text 26 purport. So we also have hope if we also sincerely try to render service with absorption, attention, favorably, anukul way, without envy, without duplicity, and with utmost humility and eagerness to receive what the Lord is trying to give, what the spiritual masters are trying to give, then success is certainly assured. Freedom is assured, Prabhupada is writing. So there is no doubt. So with that, we'll come to pause and we'll continue with the next chapter, which is entitled Hiranyakashipu, the King of Demons, and aligned to the question of Maharaj Yudhishtira. Kantraj Srimad Bhagvatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaur Bhaktivind ki jai. Jai. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva Thank you so much.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.